Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another WiiU editorial. And yes, I was very tempted to say editorial, make a pun, but I decided not to, as you saw the first time I did this. Today, we're just going to cut straight to it. There'll probably be a tangent, but we're going to cut straight to it and talk about DLC on the... And it might seem a little repetitive that I'm going back to the Nintendo eShop. Darn it, BS. But, end of the day, darn it, didn't get to prove I was good at that, which I'm not. But yeah, at the end of the day, welcome back to a WiiU editorial. We part of our WiiU tour series. So yes, today we're going to be talking about DLC. Alrighty. Now, why is it so significant to talk about DLC? It's been around forever now. Well, it feels like forever now, right? Been around for the last 7 years now, I want to say. And, I mean, for consoles at least. Let me lower that volume so it doesn't double up. There we go. I forgot the TV. Well, this is Nintendo's first steps into DLC. And that was one of the many pleasures of getting to watch the Wii U grow since launch. The Nintendo and DLC was pretty much non-heard of with the Wii U's low memory and all the limitations it had. And for a quick story of Nintendo's first trying steps into DLC was Mario Galaxy 2. Mario Galaxy 2 was going to be more Mario Galaxy, or was Mario Galaxy more, or something like that. And they ended up making it a different game because eventually it was like the Wii U just couldn't do it. And, it ended up being something good, but it was definitely something Nintendo definitely probably had in their minds going into the next-gen console. So yeah, that's why it's so important, really, for more for Nintendo loyalists as of anything, because DLC is very new to not just Nintendo as an install base, but to also Nintendo loyalists. For those who are Nintendo loyalists, maybe you're young, or you just never had internet connection with a PS3 or 360. DLC stands for downloadable content. It's extra content you can put into a game. Now, there's a lot of controversy in DLC. There's a lot of stuff like that. It's kind of the grandfather of microtransactions, which is really annoying, and it's getting a lot of people's nerves. Not in the mobile market. It's appropriate for the mobile market, but they're starting to try to bleed it into main console market. But I mean, that's that'll be another topic for another day. Not on this series, but right here. DLC, however, going back to that, is a lot of people had trouble with it because sometimes it's like, why am I getting this? What's the point? I mean, I can just get shouldn't I just be able to earn this in the game? Because if you're from my day, you want your DLC to be something well, of course, there's no such thing as DLC, but let me rephrase that. You want to just earn everything yourself through skill, through maybe you love a game so much you go through enough to get everything. I was never much of a completionist, but there was a game I really loved. I would squeeze as much out of the game as I could. And that being said, DLC was a good logical step for the age of the internet. But again, there are companies that can take advantage of it. In fact, sometimes with patches, which is not the same as DLC, but I told you we go into a tangent. It's not the same as DLC, but it's the same idea. Rather than gamers, let me make this a little different for you. Rather than all this talk about people giving you extra content, just to maybe lengthen the lifespan of the game or something like that. Sometimes they feel like, oh, here, have some clothing, have some extra bonus item or something like that, which is kind of dumb. I mean, yeah, they're cheap, but personally, I don't have a huge problem with it because I can just not buy it. But then there's moments where people add extra levels that not necessarily are where it's something you have to play to continue the story or something like that, and that's where I draw the line. When it comes to patches, there's this new mentality some developers have, where they're not done with the game, but they'll say, whatever, we'll just make the gamers beta testers, and we'll patch it later. It's like, no, that's BS, because you know what? You can't just send an incomplete game out, and then that was the problem we had last year, and it's just awful. That being said, it was obvious Nintendo probably looked around at these kind of concerns and whatnot, because the way they adopted DLC was very slow and very nurturing. Because again, it started out they didn't really know what they were getting into. It was a new market, so they didn't want to just go all out and then get people mad, even though they probably could have gotten away with it, let's be honest here. The first example of real big DLC from Nintendo was New Super Luigi U. New Super Luigi U, actually, I don't hear many people talk about this, but this is what Mario Galaxy 2 was going to be. It was a game added into New Super Mario Bros. U, that added new levels, that was harder, had different mechanics. It was awesome. It was more to the game. It increased the lifespan of the game without it being like, oh, I can just earn that myself. It was cheaper. It was cheap too. And also they made a separate disc of it later. Just to add on to it. The Pikmin 3 here. Actually, we'll take a look at the list right now. I do want to buy this DLC. I haven't before, but I wish I did. Yeah. By the way, this is something I should have done in the eShop video, but yeah, checking DLC. There's that little box with the plus on it. You just click on the game with that box. You click on View Download Content. It's self-explanatory. But yes, very nice and organized on the eShop. Basically, you have everything here. Here's some new stages, some new ideas. It's all really cool stuff. There's some Christmas-based themes. I do want to buy these. I really should. I bought a lot of DLC from Nintendo so far. I bought some characters for Injustice: Gods Among Us, and whatnot. And DLCs actually can be pretty exciting if it's not something that it's not like something that can be aggravating and whatnot. The Mario Kart 8 DLC, I highly recommend. This was fantastic, and it really shows. I think Mario Kart 8 was the point where Nintendo says, "Okay, we got this DLC thing down." Yeah, as you can see, I'm a total nerd. The Mercedes-Benz, sometimes they'll have nice free DLC, which is really cool, but that's product placement, so yeah, you can buy both of them in a pack. It's much like the 3DS also has been a good help for Nintendo too in learning around DLC, because the pack 1 and 2 bundle here reminds me a lot of the games in the Street Pass Plaza. I only have 3 out of 4. I was gonna buy the whole pack for $5 less than buying all of them, which are $5 each for the 4. But I didn't have the money at the time, so at the end of the day, I decided to buy them one at a time as the months grew, as I was getting done with and further with the other games. The only one I don't have right now is Flower Town, which I'll probably end up getting when I'm out of coupons to get in the other 3. But yeah, that's just the exciting part about DLC, I guess. Yeah, the Mario Kart 8 DLC, fantastic. I also bought the Nintendo's first season pass for Hyrule Warriors. That's some cool stuff too, and that really keeps me busy with Hyrule Warriors. There's probably more DLC on here I don't know about that I probably didn't buy. Unfortunately, unlike your actual games, you can't add DLC to a wish list. I kind of wish you did, just so it'd be easier to put together. I guess this is a long list of DLC. It's probably why it's taking so long. There we go. 7 items, yeah. Yeah, I got the Ocarina of Time set, the King costume set. And yeah, you know what? Yeah, I got the Hero of Hyrule pack. So yeah. Hero Hyrule pack basically is the season pass. You buy all of this, except for the costume sets. I think I got the Ocarina of Time costume set and the Ganon. Yes, I did. The Demon King costume set and the Ocarina of Time costume set I got free with Club Nintendo, which is probably something I should also talk about in the WiiU editorial, because Club Nintendo is ending soon. I'll get to that maybe this week or next week, but for now, different topic. But yeah, just really quick on that though. Nintendo is working on a new loyalty program, and I'm very actually pretty certain that they're going to do more stuff like this, where they'll give you deals of buying games. You'll get your Ganondorf costume set and your Ocarina of Time costume set and whatnot. I might buy the other costume sets, but again, you don't have to buy the DLC. I mean, I know it's cheap and only $1, but personally, I don't really care for spending something I can just earn in the game. It's not a big deal though. I'm nitpicking here. I'm just going to say that it's not a big deal. Bit Trip has a lot of costumes. I bought a couple because they were nice. Sonic Lost Worlds has completely free DLC. This was really Sega's doing, but Nintendo had a part in it too. But you know, third party is important to talk about with DLC too, because it shows that Nintendo welcomes the idea for everybody, you know, and that's really cool. Yeah, these I got. Very cool DLC, you know, and the DLC also helps with the game. Rather than it just being something you have to play for the story, it's a couple extra Nintendo-based levels that let you grind for lives real easy in the Yoshi level. You get really easy lives, and then you get really easy... then you get really easy animals to unlock levels in the Legend of Zelda level. Wii Sports Club, I kind of want to talk about. Personally, I kind of think this was a mistake on Nintendo's part. This is kind of something I think there is a pass here, by the way, for all of them, which that's smart in itself, but kind of think Nintendo dropped the ball on this, because here's how it worked. The Wii Sports Club pack is free, but you have to buy all these games for $10. They should have just made this a $40 budget title, which they did end up doing. I own this game on a disc. In fact, I purposely waited for this on the disc, because I'm not paying for it like this. I'm sorry. I'd rather have the disc. And I loved Wii Sports. I actually love this game. I think it's way better. I think they made huge improvements. In fact, golf and baseball used to be something I wasn't really all that fond of, but now I love those games the most because the way they changed it up with the gamepad. Very good stuff, but I think Nintendo kind of dropped the ball here. Again, they were learning, though, and they were growing, because this was, I think they just went too far. It was like, hey, let's try this free-to-play hub thing, because even though it cost $10 to permanently purchase each sport, you could have bought each sport with like $1 for the day or something like that. In case you only wanted, that's fine if you wanted just 3 out of 5 or 2 out of 5 or even 1 out of 5 of the sports, but no, I'm not into it. Yeah, like I said, New Super Mario Bros. U has Luigi's U. I don't think I have to go through that. Yeah, and again, we have our third-party stuff. Even though some third parties are a little stingy at their DLC, you know, it's there. And it's all good stuff. Arkham Origins is something very disappointed in, because they didn't have a extra story mode with Mr. Freeze. That disappointed me, but you know, that was during Nintendo's harder days of the Wii U, which it's still the Wii U has had a huge upswing in sales, but you know, at the end of the day, I still stand by the fact I think that the Wii U will have be second place this generation, no matter what. That being said, yeah, mostly we got our third-party developers here, nice enough to do this. Tank Tank is a free-to-play game by Name Guy Bando. Pretty fun. I tried it out a little bit. Was not impressed, to be honest. Zen Pinball 2, I thought I'd like. I got rid of it though. Another free game, but you had to buy all the things. It's not a big deal free to play. I really don't think it's a big deal, but it's just not my style personally. This is a personal thing with me, and DLC is just that kind of thing where it's like, it's just a flavor kind of thing. You know, you can love it or hate it, but in the end of the day, you don't have to buy it. But you should have a problem with the fact if companies make you have to buy it, you know? And, I mean, that's what free DLC they throw at you for once in a while, you know, just an incentive or something. But, you know, at the end of the day, it just depends on your personal preference, you know? And if you're from the generation of the internet, I really would be interested in hearing your point of view on this, because I'm from a time where I mean, my first games were in a cartridge on a console. I really don't understand. When DLC first came out, I was like, I thought it was cool, but I saw a lot of problems with it. I didn't adopt into it very quickly, and I'm still kind of iffy about it. If there's DLC I'm excited for, like Mario Kart 8 or the Mewtwo DLC, which my friend, actually, let me just continue this before I go over there. Then yeah, I'm all for it. Like I can really get pumped for that, because I will spend the money for it, because you know it's work that the developer made to extend the time of the game. That I understand. Like that's like with that's like not having to buy a sequel that they cheaped out on you with, you know. And then sometimes maybe they should have just made a sequel with the DLC. That's why I personally think Nintendo decided to put New Super Luigi U on a disc after they released the DLC, you know? But yeah, back to my story. Actually, since we're on the topic of the Mewtwo DLC, my friend I was talking to, he finally got his Wii U. I'm like, hey, good for you, man. And he was saying, oh, thanks, yeah. He's also planning on getting this PS4 soon. You know, good for him. And we were talking on Facebook, and he was telling me, yeah, it was kind of bullshit how they kept Mewtwo from the game, and they're making you pay for it and whatnot. And I was saying, well, he didn't have Club Nintendo, so no, he didn't buy the he didn't buy the 3DS version. I don't think he has his 3DS at all. No, he doesn't have a 3DS at all, so he doesn't have the 3DS version, so he can't get Mewtwo for free. Well, I explained to him though, Mewtwo wasn't finished yet. In fact, it was probably a last-minute decision to do that. But yeah, Mewtwo wasn't finished, and they're working on him right now as we speak. And he said, "Oh, okay, that's fair." See, that's what I mean by the personal taste, you know. But yeah, Pikmin 3 DLC I gotta get into. I'm not even done with the main story, Pikmin 3. I gotta get back to that. Pikmin 3 is fantastic. Definitely recommend. But remember, it's a very different kind of game. If just a warning to people who are unfamiliar with the Pikmin series, very, very, very different kind of game. In fact, I always consider that more of a Miyamoto's indie kind of side to him, you know. And that's a series he loves to work on as of late. But yeah, not many games with DLC right now, but I think, like with the online multiplayer, Nintendo does it on purpose. That's something else we should talk about, online multiplayer. That'd be coming up with so many ideas today. This is my Wii U editorial, not DLC, but brainstorm session. But yeah, you know. And, you know, I wouldn't call whole game downloads from the Virtual Console DLC. But, you know, if you could make it, there could be a debate for it. Demos, same thing. It could be a debate. Same with the patches. It can be debatably downloadable DLC. Because, I mean, strictly I'm talking about DLC that you could add on to an existing game or platform, right? Well, game. I don't mean like a whole game. I don't mean like, even though it is downloadable content, yeah, I just mean it in the way that a gamer would understand. But yeah, if you can make the argument, then yeah, you know, it's a nice growing thing. Nintendo has done very good job, in my opinion anyway, adapting to DLC, because they were very new to it, and they grew with it, and now, you know, it worked in their favor. So that concludes today's Wii U editorial. Yeah, we got a couple ideas to throw at you. I got a couple ideas now to talk about. I was actually thinking, having a hard time thinking about what to talk about. This was something that ended up coming up with the other day. And yeah. Also, I got a new project I can announce soon. Hintity. To talk about, but until then, I'll make a separate video for that. That's a creepy picture just come up all of a sudden. It ain't bedtime for Kailu. Yeah, you got that right. That doesn't make any sense. Sometimes the WiiU Plaza is weird. Also, I didn't know Citizens of Earth was out until the other day when I saw my friend's Wii U. See? This is why the WiiU Plaza rocks. But, yeah, I've squeezed enough time out of here. So thank you all so much for watching. I've been Billy, your video game analyzer. Have a good day, good night whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you next time.